What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Some stuff happened yesterday, and it's going to take up quite a bit of the beginning of Newswave, so we need to save some time and get started right now. Most of you probably already know what I'm talking about, and that is Rockstar's announcement of them coming back to Nintendo with a game called Noire. Now, if you missed this game, it came out in 2011, had some really cool features to it. What they did was, you would play as a detective who would try to read very subtle facial movements, twitches, things like that, to see if somebody was lying. So you would, of course, investigate different cases that were going on that involved maybe homicide or theft, or things like that. And you tried to bring in suspects, and you would interrogate them with questions and try to get them to kind of trip up, if you will, when they're giving their side of the story, and then you try to put pieces together, and you try to solve cases. It also had things like an open world that I thought was kind of empty, but overall the story itself was good, it was interesting, and now apparently it's coming back in a remaster for the Xbox One, the PS4, the HTC Vive on the PC, which is interesting, and the most interesting one, the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, it's not Grand Theft Auto. I want Grand Theft Auto, and that's fine. I understand. Grand Theft Auto 5 on the go would be absolutely incredible. I don't think anyone can dispute that. That would be the game to get. But right now, Rockstar was already going to be bringing out Noire. In fact, we heard about this back in January. People were dropping rumors that Noire was going to make it to the Nintendo Switch a while ago. So hats off to the people who broke that because, well, I guess it was true. And in this case, they are bringing Noire to the Nintendo Switch. And this is interesting because the last time I can remember that Rockstar brought a game to Nintendo systems was Chinatown Wars back in 2009. And then I think a little before that, they did Bully on the Wii. So it's been a while. They completely skipped the Wii U like most developers did. I can't blame them. Even some of Nintendo's franchises just outright skipped the Wii U. So it's tough to blame any companies now. And it looks like the Switch is more enticing to some of these companies. And it kind of buries that notion that Rockstar and Nintendo just don't like each other. That's another weird thing. There's this weird thing out there that Nintendo and Rockstar just seem to not get along. They don't like each other. They can't work together. I guess they can, because it looks like Noire is coming to the Switch, and this could open the door to really a ton of games from Rockstar if this works out. And it does seem like Rockstar is putting time into this game because they're going to include some of the features from the Switch that other versions won't have. Things like gyro aiming appears to be a thing. HD Rumble will be included. How well they're going to use it, I don't know, but they're using HD Rumble. And they're going to use touchscreen support, things like that. And of course, it will be portable, something that no other system can really say at this point. Of course, the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro will get 4K resolution. And you'll have the HTC Vive kind of giving a VR experience, which, by the way, seems like that'd be a great use of that game with that technology. I mean, that means that when you have the VR headset on, you can look directly into the person's eyes right across from you in like a first-person view like that, where you're cut off from the rest of the world, and you could try to read their facial movements just like that. That sounds awesome, actually. It sounds like they're going to have, I think they said 6 to 7 different side cases for the HTC Vive, and like they're going to actually program it directly for that piece of hardware, which is cool. And I would like to try it as a VR game. That'd be really neat. But right now, everyone wants to see, what is it going to look like on the Switch? There are rumors going around right now that it's going to be a direct port from the 360 and the PS3 version. And I will say the verbiage that they use and the way that it's written out in their press release, it sounds like it's not going to have the enhanced features that the Xbox One and the PS4 will have. It's definitely not going to have the resolution that the Pro and the X will have, obviously. But the fact that they could port this from, like I said, an older version of 360, maybe clean it up some, and then add the extra features of the Switch, they're probably going to tap into an audience that completely missed this game. When I was talking about it on Twitter, so many people were saying, well, I've never played this game before. Maybe I'll try it out. And I'm going to tell you now, if you want Rockstar games on the Nintendo Switch, you want to take a hard look at this game. If you've never tried it before, I'm not saying go out and buy it like just because. At least do some research into it, check it out, see if it's a game for you. If you think it is, I can tell you right now, it is a good game. It's not like a junk game or anything that they're throwing around here. It is a solid game. It's an enjoyable experience. I would look into it, and if it does look like something you would enjoy, maybe think about buying it, because Rockstar is definitely going to evaluate how this does on the Nintendo Switch. There are probably some backroom talks between them and Nintendo, with Nintendo saying, hey, you should check out the Switch, as they did with most developers, and I do think Rockstar is going to take a chance. Now, there are rumors all around this still. There are rumors that Rockstar is going to have another company even port it over for them, which again tells me that they still don't have as much confidence in Nintendo's system, but they have enough confidence to at least port it over. And really, there are some things that could trip it up, and that's the problem here. One, well, the price is going to be higher than the other versions, and that could put some people off here. I mean, look at it this way. You go out and there's the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro version, and apparently they're going to be $40, whereas, well, the one on the Switch is going to be $50, but it won't have the same visuals. That's the second thing. It's probably not going to have the enhanced remastered features that we're seeing. Again, probably these are the rumors. However, I can tell you the pricing appears to be correct. I took a look at a wholesale sheet, and yes, the pricing is $10 in difference. It was $40 on the PS4 and the Xbox One, and it was $50 on the Switch. Now, those are, according to the retailers that I looked at and the wholesalers I looked at, those are placeholder prices, so they can change. I've seen it firsthand. Call of Duty Remastered changed to 3 different prices before it became finalized. So just because it's $10 more now doesn't mean it'll be $10 more when it comes out. And really, I would look at this as the big picture, right? The big picture here is Rockstar is now interested in Nintendo systems again. Something they haven't been in a long time. I have a feeling the Wii getting Manhunt 2 and Bully, those were the last real times that really Rockstar looked at it and they said, they didn't do the best. We'll move on. Then they see the Wii U and they go, well, we're not putting our games on that thing. And then the Switch comes out. They see the potential with the Switch, and it's worth a port to them. So like I said, if you're interested, check it out. It's a good game. It's worth it. And I really do hope it sells well, because that could be a wake-up call for Rockstar to move GTA 5 over if they've not already started. I feel like that is a Herculean port for them to move over to the Switch. But now that SD cards are required for certain games, Nintendo has kind of opened that floodgate. Maybe we'll see some of those games come over. In fact, maybe that's one of the big things that was holding up LA Noire for a while. I'm not sure, but I can tell you some games are just going to be larger than what the Switch can offer. Resident Evil Revelations 2, for example, apparently is 26 gigabytes just for that second game, so you'll need an SD card for that one. And I'm sure GTA 5 would be pretty large. I'm thinking 30 to 40 gigabytes for that game on the Switch. You need an SD card, but now that Rockstar's bringing one over, they're going to evaluate if it does well. I would expect more games from Rockstar, maybe like a Red Dead Redemption port. How awesome would that be if Red Dead Redemption became a portable game on the Nintendo Switch? I'm excited just thinking about that. I know the second one's probably not going to go to the Switch anytime soon, obviously, but the first one would be really cool to bring over as a remaster. Anyway, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on Rockstar returning to Nintendo after about 9 years or so. I mean, let me know your thought there, because I think it's a big deal. I think it's really cool that they are returning to the console space with Nintendo. Technically, it's 8 years from the handheld, the DS, with Chinatown Wars. But let me know what you think really about Rockstar coming back. I think it's a big step for Nintendo with third-party support, because that is one of the big third-party supporters that the other systems have. Next up, let's jump over to the green team with Xbox. Forza 7 has gone gold. That means it's done. It's on its way out. It's being pretty much pressed and shipped now. But the big thing here is there will also be a demo. So September 19th, there will be a demo you can download on the Xbox One or the PC, which is going to be interesting because a lot of people are going to do some benchmarks on the PC version with the demo. And of course, we'll take a look at how it actually looks and pans out. And of course, we'll take a look at how it looks on the regular Xbox One, because the X is going to have an awesome looking version. We all know this. Massive assets, 4K resolution running at 60 frames, not even using the full GPU as we've seen. So of course, people will take a look at the base Xbox One as well. But if you're kind of on the edge here, maybe you're on the fence about getting this, well, there's gonna be a demo September 19th. It's worth checking out. Also, let's stick with the Xbox 1 second, because there are some really funny pictures going around that kind of turn into news, because, well, Japanese retailers have probably the hardest job in Japan when it comes to selling the Xbox One. Not an easy task, as we've seen. I've showed you guys Media Create sales form, right, where we get the charts, and it's 78 Xbox Ones. It's a big deal when it gets to 100 Xbox Ones for the week. To put that in comparison, you know, the Switch sells 50,000 units in a week, and here's the Xbox One at 78. Now, Japanese retailers are trying to figure out ways to move this thing without saying it's an Xbox. Of course, Xbox's branding is all over it, and I have a feeling if they could get rid of that Xbox branding, they would, because it looks like they're even trying to push heavily that it's an ultra high def Blu-ray player, which I would push that as well if I was in their shoes, because it's really a feature that really makes it different from the PS4 and might. That's the thing, it's tough, because I don't think 4K adoption is very big over in Japan, but it might appeal to some. Maybe they get an extra 10 sales out of it or something for the week. Hard to say, but the fact that they are just trying to figure out ways to move these things tells me that some of these retailers in Japan have probably had Xbox One sitting on their shelves, the same Xbox One, by the way, for weeks. Like, it's bad. They're probably not looking to order anytime soon. I just don't, it's just not a good seller over there. It isn't. I think they've sold 80,000 lifetime from 2013 or 2014, whenever they launched, somewhere in there. It's bad. It's bad considering the PS4 and the Switch and the 3DS have eclipsed that entire lifetime in different weeks in their lifetime, just all in 1 week. So not good. And they're trying to figure out creative ways. Just call it an ultra high def Blu-ray player. Go put it in the TV section with the other DVD players and the Blu-ray players. See if it'll work. Of course, they also push Minecraft, which is actually kind of popular there as it is everywhere else in the world. So. It's just they don't want to call it an Xbox. They don't want to put Gears of War with it. They just want you to, it'll play your Blu-rays that are ultra high def that the PS4 can't, so you might as well pick it up since the other ones are about the same price. And hey, look, this one plays games. Next up, let's talk about Bethesda, and apparently they have an unannounced title on the way. At least that's what Pete Hines accidentally said, because he did go on Twitter to apparently correct what he said, which is very odd. It definitely looks like he got caught, well, saying something he shouldn't have on camera. This was with Tech Syndicate. He had an interview, Pete Hines did, and he said this.
We have a ton of stuff going on, and we even have a game coming out this year that we haven't even told anybody about yet. So they can wait. It won't be so long. I'm not telling you.
Is it a new IP?
I'm not telling you.
What are we gonna get out
It's a good try. It's a good try. I'm just not telling you.
Now, of course, Pete Hines is the vice president of PR and marketing with Bethesda, and he did go on Twitter, I guess, to try to correct what he said, or at least take some heat off of him when he gets to work the next day, saying, "I probably just had a concussion from the beating I took online and was rambling. Ignore." Yeah, because that, definitely didn't look deliberate what you said on camera there. I think you're pretty coherent there when you said that. So obviously he said something that he shouldn't have said. It seems like that there probably is a Bethesda game coming now. Everyone's trying to figure out, well, what game is coming? It's hard to say. It could be a mobile game. It could be this fabled Fallout 4 for the Switch that keeps getting thrown around out there. I don't know if that's the case, but it could be a game on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Could be something with Skyrim, because they can't seem to let Skyrim die. But it's hard to say what could be happening here. I mean, it could even be a new IP. That's the thing. It's kind of up to speculation now, but according to him, it would be this year, and it's, well, September now, so it's got to be soon. A lot of people were also pointing out that the Apple event is coming up, and maybe it's a new Fallout Shelter or a Fallout game in general. Could they move Fallout? Could they move Skyrim over to phones and tablets? Hard to say. But I do know a lot of companies want in on this mobile market, so yeah, it's possible. Or maybe it is a new Switch game. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think Bethesda's working on right now? What do you think Pete Hines accidentally told us about? Even though he went on Twitter and said, oh, just ignore it. Yeah, we're not going to do that, Pete. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about something I've been waiting for a while, which are, well, decent controllers for the Switch that aren't made by Nintendo. We of course see the Pro Controller that is $70. And then of course we see the Joy-Cons that are $80. But neither of them have, well, a good, reliable, straight-up D-pad, for example, right? The Joy-Con uses separate buttons, and the D-pad on the Pro Controller has been known to be suspect with different things, whether there's a glitch where it's hitting a bunch of buttons at once for some reason, and of course you can hit all the buttons at the same time, and it's $70. The big thing here, though, is PowerA apparently is going to be, well, they're going to be coming to the table with their own solutions here, and they look pretty cool, and they're officially licensed by Nintendo, and they're less than half the price of the Pro Controller. Check these out. There is a Mario controller, and there is a Zelda controller. Now, it says it's a detachable cable. I'm just going to pretend like they're wired because I don't want to get my hopes up that it's a wireless controller of any kind at $30. I'm just going to tell you now, it probably is one that has like micro USB or USB-C at the top that then runs to, well, just the USB Type A on the dock. More than likely, it's going to be like that, really that Ori pad I showed you guys that really wasn't very good, and it was $30. So I'm excited. Also, I like the look of that Zelda one, by the way, with Link on there. That looks awesome. The D-pad looks really cool. It's definitely an actual D-pad, again, unlike that Ori one that I had where the D-pad was, well, it was a piece of plastic hitting a bunch of random buttons. And they're releasing October 23rd, conveniently, a little before Mario Odyssey. So maybe if you want a controller like that for Mario Odyssey, you can pick it up. I do think a lot of us will be putting Mario Odyssey on the TV because it looks so pretty. The game looks so good. Visually, the gameplay looks great. Everyone I've talked to who has played it at different events says it's super responsive. And look, a controller that might not suck that you can get that isn't $70. Awesome. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out. Again, what's really cool is the thumb pads. I like the concave kind of thumb pads. Some people like the dome thumb pads. I like the concave ones a little better, and again, they look much better than the Hori pad I was playing with. I'm going to try to get one of these, so if you are at all curious about how it works, how it looks inside, and of course how it feels and everything, I will probably be doing a review for one of these, probably the Zelda one, because that looks so cool. I love the look of it, and I can't wait. October 23rd, and then of course, a little after that, Mario Odyssey. That's it for Newswave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. All that good stuff. Let me think about any of the stuff we talked about today. Whether it is Rockstar and Nintendo, do you think that they've mended their rumored fences, and now LA Noire is coming over, something that they obviously would have never done with the Wii U if the Wii U was still around right now? And I think so. I think Rockstar sees that the Switch is going to continue to sell well, and you know what? It's another system for them to put their games on, that an audience that has been starved for Rockstar games is the Nintendo audience. The Nintendo fans who don't buy any of their consoles, who just buy Nintendo systems, they want Rockstar games, and I think Rockstar can tell. So yes, LA Noire is coming over. If it sells well, I would expect to see Grand Theft Auto follow behind it after, I don't know, however long it takes to port that game. It could be a little while, could be a year even, or maybe they've already started porting it now. Could be interesting. Also, let me know what you think about Bethesda's unannounced game. What do you think it is? What game could they be holding back? A remaster of one or a new IP that we haven't seen yet? That's it for now, guys. I will see you on Monday.